Welcome to Aurora Predictions. In this presentation on Microsoft Azure Analytics and Power BI versus Aurora LightZ. First, we'll start with a presentation by Microsoft about creating an engine for business-changing insights with Azure Analytics and Power BI. Business agility requires seamless data collection across the entire organization. And Microsoft sees this as business analysts, IT professionals, and data scientists. Microsoft Azure, they claim, is the only cloud provider to unify AI, BI, and analytics, creating an accelerated time to insight. They do this by IT professionals taking data and putting it into an Azure data lake. The Azure data lake is available to Azure Synapse Analytics, by which Azure machine learning can be processed through data scientists. The results can be extracted. Once in Power BI, business analysts are going to have to determine how to use the outputs from analytics and machine learning that become useful for business users to consume. Customers using Azure Synapse and Power BI are transforming their business with purpose according to Microsoft. 271% average ROI. Let's move to LightZ AI-enabled analytics platform. Aurora LightZ is the only cloud AI-enabled analytics platform to automatically deliver load and go insights. Data can come from any sources, including spreadsheets, into Aurora LightZ, which go directly to business users and analysts. There's no IT, there's no data scientists, there's no model training, and there is no coding. In LightZ, the model builds itself through the Aurora AI. Here we see one of hundreds of reports that are built in and available to users once the data is in the system. This is a simple P&L. And here we can see trend variance analysis. We can see an AI prediction of the future of the trend. We can automatically do correlations, understand the last consecutive duration of the trend, the financial impact of the trend, the KPIs, and the standard deviations. All of these fields are easily navigated through drill paths, which are hierarchical organizations of filters and created the same way you would create filters in a pivot table. The charting is also interactive and intelligent. The system knows that the report is a year-over-year report, and therefore the chart automatically starts as a year-over-year comparison chart. By simply expanding the window, you can gain access to hundreds of charts similar to what you'd have in Power BI. So which AI analytics environment is truly integrated and frictionless? In Microsoft, you have a data layer, and then you have a layer of technical people, of IT professionals and data scientists. And you have a tech stack of Azure Data Lake, Azure ML, Azure Synapse, and Power BI. Then you have the business layer, where you have business analysts and business users to produce a value layer of business value. And in order to get that value, business analysts have to communicate with IT professionals and data scientists. And IT professionals have to communicate with data scientists, and business analysts have to communicate with business users in order to make the tech stack of Azure Data Lake, Azure ML, Azure Synapse, and Power BI all work together to produce an output that's usable and consumable by the business user. In Aurora, it's data, Aurora LightZ, business users and analysts who can be one of the same to create large business value, integrated and frictionless. The LightZ ROI is enormous. Here's a real example of a manufacturer of $460 million, where LightZ was applied across demand planning, inventory, supply chain, operations, and sales to yield an $81 million benefit, or a 540x ROI. So which AI and analytics ROI do you prefer? The 3.7x from Azure Synapse and Power BI, or the 540x from Aurora LightZ? LightZ is 10 times faster to implement and 100 times more ROI.